The cafe is full. Every table taken except one. Ha-eun sits in the corner, blazer on, coffee untouched, phone face down. He has been coming here for 2 years. Nobody sits with him. Not because there is a rule. Because there doesn't need to be. Elliana counts the room once. Sees the empty chair. Walks over. Can I sit here? He looks at her. Not the way people look at strangers. The way people look at something they need to assess before they can decide what it is. She is already pulling out the chair. He moves his phone an inch to the left. She takes that as yes. She sets down her bag, opens her laptop, lines up 3 highlighters. Pink, orange, green. Like she has done this 1,000 times. Like this is already her table. It isn't. Not yet. 3 things happen the first morning. Elliana sits at his table. The cafe owner brings Ha-eun his usual without being asked, sets it down without making eye contact, and leaves without saying a word. Not because he is afraid. Because in 2 years, Ha-eun has never needed to be asked twice about anything, and the owner has learned that the fastest way to keep things smooth is to already know. 2 men in the corner booth watch the room, the way people watch rooms when watching the room is their job. They have been there since before Ha-eun arrived. They will leave after he does. Elliana does not notice them. Ha-eun notices that she does not notice them, and files this, and says nothing. A man in a gray suit walks in at 7:14, scans the room, finds Ha-eun, and walks over. He leans down, speaks quietly. 4 sentences. Ha-eun does not look at him once. He looks at his phone. When the man finishes, Ha-eun says 2 words without looking up. The man in the gray suit leaves immediately, and something about the speed of his exit makes the cafe feel, for just a moment, very small. Elliana is highlighting something in green. She does not look up either. Ha-eun notices this. He notices it the way he notices everything, completely, the way you only notice things when you have trained yourself to see what other people miss. She is not performing calm. She is not pretending she didn't see. She simply has decided that whatever just happened is not her business, and she has returned, fully, to her own. He does not have a category for this. He is a man who has built his entire life around a simple equation. Power is distance. Distance is safety. Safety is control. Every person in his life exists inside this equation somewhere. His lawyers. His staff. The 2 men in the corner booth. Even Jaemin existed inside it, once, before Ha-eun failed to protect him, and that failure became the thing he has been paying for ever since. The Friday meals are part of the payment. Every week, long tables, mismatched chairs, his staff eating together because Jaemin once said it was the best part of any day. Ha-eun did not eat with them at first. He stood at the edge of the room, and made sure everyone had enough, and told himself that was the same thing. It is not the same thing. He knows this. He has always known this. He is a man who controls the silence of rooms and cannot sit inside his own. Elliana closes her green highlighter, opens the orange one, moves to the next page without looking up. He watches this and thinks, with the precision of someone who has survived a very long time by knowing threats before they arrive, that she is going to be a problem. Not because she is dangerous. Because she is completely, entirely, herself. And he cannot remember the last time he was in a room with someone like that. By the 4th Tuesday, the cafe owner stops hovering. This is not a small thing. He has hovered for 2 years. The particular vigilance of a man who understands that his best customer requires a certain quality of attention. But on the 4th Tuesday, he brings Ha-eun his coffee, brings Elliana hers without being asked, and goes back behind the counter like this is simply how mornings work now. Ha-eun notices this the way he notices everything. He does not address it. By the 6th Tuesday, she is leaving her pink highlighter on the table when she goes to the bathroom. Not asking him to watch it. Not making a point of it. Just leaving it there the way you leave something somewhere you have decided is safe. He looks at it while she is gone. He does not move it. Week 7 arrives and something is different before he can name what it is. He is in the back of a car at 6:40 in the morning, and there's a tightness across his shoulders that is not tension exactly. It is closer to the feeling he gets before a meeting he is not fully prepared for, which has not happened in 11 years. He prepares for everything. He does not examine this too carefully. The cafe owner drops his name while thanking him for something small, a favor arranged quietly 3 weeks ago, the kind of thing Ha-eun does without thinking. Shinzai. Just that. Routine. The kind of acknowledgement that exists inside every room he enters, the particular frequency of people who know who he is and what that means. Elliana is highlighting something in orange. She does not look up. That evening she looks him up. He does not know this. But something in him registers it anyway, the way it always does, the specific shift in atmospheric pressure that arrives before something changes. He has survived long enough to trust this feeling. He does not know what it is pointing at. He goes to sleep the same way he always does. Phone face down, room dark, the photograph of his brother on the lock screen, he will not see until morning. The next Tuesday she comes back. She moves her highlighters without looking at him. He moves his phone without looking at her. Neither of them says anything. But the silence between them has changed its quality. It is no longer the silence of two strangers sharing a table. It is the silence of two people who have made a decision and are not yet ready to say so out loud. He notices this precisely. This is the problem. He has spent 11 years building a life in which he notices everything and acts only on what is useful. Grief was not useful, so he built the Friday meals instead and called it forward motion. Trust was not useful, so he built systems instead and called it wisdom. Everything that could not be controlled was reclassified as a variable and managed accordingly. Elliana does not behave like a variable. Week 9. Two men come in at 8:20 and speak to him quietly. There is a problem across the city. The kind that does not wait. He looks at Elliana once, says I have to go, and leaves. He is back in 45 minutes. This is the first time in 11 years he has come back. He tells himself it is because he left his phone charger. This is not true, and he knows it within 30 seconds of sitting down, because she closes her laptop and looks at him with the steadiness of someone who has decided to say the thing, and he feels the tightness across his shoulders again, the one that started in week 7 and has not fully left since. What do you do, she says. Specifically. He answers her. Not completely, but more than he has answered anyone in a very long time. She does not flinch. She does not perform calm. She sits with what he has said and decides what she thinks and tells him. Truth or nothing. He promises truth. This is the most dangerous thing he has done in 11 years. Not because he intends to break it. Because he intends to keep it. A man who keeps his word to someone is a man who can be reached through that someone. Ha-eun has not been reachable in 11 years. He is aware, with the cold clarity of someone who has stayed alive by understanding threats, that he has just handed someone the means to reach him. He shows up the following Tuesday anyway. Week 11. She texts him from a dormitory that smells like instant noodles and shared radiators. Won't be at the café. He reads it at 6:48 in the back of a car already heading in that direction and says nothing and reroutes and does not examine why the morning feels the wrong shape. That evening he calls the restaurant 2 blocks from her campus. Arranges soup. Gives specific instructions about temperature and packaging. Does not leave a note because leaving a note would be a declaration and he is not ready to make one. He is not ready. He sends it anyway. She texts. There was no note. He stares at this for a long time. You know who sent it? He types back. I want to hear you say it. He types and deletes 4 responses. Then 2 more. Then he writes the true one. I sent it. Feel better, Elliana. He puts his phone down. Picks it up again. Her reply is already there. Thank you, Ha-eun, like the letter. He reads it once. Then again. He does not know what to do with this. With any of it. With the fact that she makes him feel like a man standing outside something he built specifically to stand outside of. Looking in, realizing the door was never actually locked. He types. Stop calling me that. It takes him 4 minutes to send it. If a story about 2 people sitting at the same table and slowly becoming each other's reason has found its way to you today, subscribing takes 1 second, and it means the next one will always find you too. Now, back to the corner table, because something is about to shift, and you need to be there when it does. Week 13. He takes her to one of his restaurants. He tells himself it is because she mentioned once being tired of campus food. This is true and not the reason. The staff receives them with the specific attention of people who have learned, over time, that this man notices everything and forgets nothing. Not fear. Something earned. Elliana notices this the way she notices everything, sideways, without making it obvious, and files it next to the other things she has collected about him over 13 weeks. In the back, she sees the setup for a large informal meal. Long tables. Mismatched chairs. Something warm that does not match the polished exterior. Every Friday, he says, when she asks. Staff eats together. No exceptions. Whose idea? He picks up his menu. Mine. Why? A pause. The kind that means the answer exists but has not been said out loud in a long time. Someone once told me it was the best part of any day. She goes still. Who told you that? He puts the menu down. And she watches him do something she has not seen him do once in 13 weeks. She watches him decide to tell the truth. Not the managed version. Not the version that keeps the distance intact. The actual one. He tells her about his brother. Not everything. But enough. The younger one who laughed too easily and trusted too much, and believed people were mostly good right up until the moment that belief got him killed. The Friday meals that started as a way to keep something alive after everything else went quiet. The fireproof safe. The photograph still on his phone. When he finishes, the table is quiet. Elliana reaches across and puts her hand over his. Not romance. Something older than that. The gesture of someone saying, I received that, and it is safe with me. He looks at her hand on his. He does not move it. I have never told anyone that, he says. I know, she says. That's why you needed to. Week 15. A Tuesday. Elliana is already at the table when he arrives. He knows before he sits down that something is wrong. Not because of anything she does. Because of what she is not doing. Laptop closed. Notes in her bag. Coffee in both hands, going cold. She is looking at nothing in the particular way people look at nothing when they are looking at something they cannot stop seeing. He sits. What happened? Not a question. He has not asked questions that way in 11 years. Statements work faster. Statements leave less room for people to decide how much to tell you. She looks up. My scholarship committee called. A beat. There is a conduct review. Someone reported that I have been associating with a known criminal enterprise. Another beat, smaller. Someone who knows you. Who wants you to know they can reach the people around you. The temperature of the room does not change. Nothing visible changes. But something in Ha-eun goes very still in a way that is different from his usual stillness. His usual stillness is control. This is something underneath control. Something that was there before he learned control. Something that only surfaces when the thing happening is not a problem to be managed but a cost being collected. Someone has found the one thing in his life he did not armor. And used it. He knows who. He has known for 3 weeks that this particular person was looking for a pressure point, and he miscalculated. Believed the pressure point they would find would be financial, professional, the kind of leverage that exists inside the world he built. He did not consider this. He did not consider her because he did not let himself think of her as something that could be taken from him. Because thinking that way would have required admitting she was something to him in the first place. He is admitting it now. In the worst possible way. Shin. I will handle it. Shin. Look at me. He looks at her. Her eyes are steady. She is frightened. He can see this. But the fear is not of him, and it is not of whoever sent the message. The fear is of what he is about to do. She knows him well enough now to know what handling it looks like. 13 weeks at the same table, for weeks of texts, one brother's story told over dinner. She knows. She types back. I'm okay. I'm really okay. Then, after a silence that stretches longer than his usual silences, I kept your highlighter. The orange one. From the first day. I still have it. She reads it once. Reads it again. Sets her phone face down on the bed. And looks at the ceiling and does not move for a long time. Then she picks it up. Come to the café, she types. Tuesday. 7 o'clock. I'll be there first. You're always there first. And you always come anyway. His reply takes longer than the others. Yes. I always come anyway. Tuesday. 6:58 a.m. She is there first. Notes out. Laptop open. 3 highlighters arranged by color. The owner brings her coffee without being asked, smiling the real smile that took 12 weeks to earn. The cafe is full the way it is always full, the particular morning fullness of a place that has learned to hold the same people in the same places until those places become theirs. The corner table is hers. It has been hers for a long time. She just did not know it on the Wednesday she asked. 7:01 a.m. He walks in. Just him. No one in the corner booth. No car idling outside. Just a man in a black blazer with short dark hair and sharp angular features, and the particular stillness that is, she knows now, not distance. It was never distance. It was a door he did not know how to open from the inside. His eyes find her the way they always do. As if they do not know how not to. He sits. She looks up. He reaches into his coat pocket and places the orange highlighter on the table between them. Worn at the cap. Slightly flat from months of being carried. She looks at it. She looks at him. I can explain it now, he says. Then explain it. He looks at her the way he looked at the restaurant full of his people on a Friday evening. Like a man who's spent a very long time standing outside a window and has finally decided to come in. You, he says. It's you. That's all. It's just you. She picks up the orange highlighter. Uncaps it. In the margin of her open notebook, in the careful way she marks everything she intends to keep, She writes 2 words and turns it to face him. Me too. Neither of them speaks. Outside, Seoul moves at its relentless Tuesday pace. Inside, the orange highlighter lies uncapped between them on a table that was never supposed to be shared. It always was. If you made it to the end of this one, you already know why it stayed with you. Subscribe, and the next story will find you the same way she found that table. There is already another one waiting.